Segment 2, Gold and Black Live. Coach Katie Gearlds joins us. A busy woman. This is the time of year where it's all year for basketball coaches. We know that. But welcome to the show, Katie. A big game on Sunday, but welcome and we look forward to a little discussion here.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me, Alan.
All right. Well, Katie, you look at this. You got off to a good start. I found it that it may be a good sign that your team was a little bit upset with its defensive effort in the fourth quarter. But you're building a culture here in your fourth season, and you're as competitive a basketball player as I've seen back in your playing days. What does that say about your group? Just in terms of where they are from a competitive standpoint and that edge that they might have heading into this season.
Yeah. I think exactly that. We were frustrated with our fourth quarter. Just kind of took our foot off the gas. We took a 21-point lead there with about 8.5, 9 minutes to go. Let them cut it down to 9 or 8 there. And it's just about maturing and finishing the game. We have 7 new pieces out there trying to figure it out together. And it kind of went the way we thought it was going to go. We thought we'd get up and then kind of give it away a little bit and then give up and kind of similar to the men's game a little bit in that regard. Yeah. A lot of new pieces out there. But they for 3 quarters, we were really good. And then the frustration came from their fourth quarter, just kind of lapses. And the tape doesn't lie. So they'll see it and, they're ready to get back to work. Obviously a huge challenge on Sunday with Notre Dame coming in here, but I think we have a team that's going to compete for 40 minutes. And they're fun to be around right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, and you talk about competitiveness. I mean, that is with 7 new pieces. That is today's world in coaching and in basketball coaching in a lot of places. You see a team that you like its competitiveness and it's going to continue to need to be that way, but how does that come together? I mean, with this group and having some new pieces, some freshmen that are really making contributions as well. That's a big challenge, I would think, to keep that at the competitive level that you need to be a team that can be reckoned with in the Big Ten.
Yeah. We returned 7 good pieces that have some competitive nature to them. But then we were pretty diligent. Obviously, we got the 3 freshmen in that just want to be great. They want to leave their impact here at Purdue, on Purdue. They want to leave a stamp. And then we were just diligent in the portal, making sure we found competitive human beings.
Yeah.
People that you could just read that were frustrated with losing anything, right? Like. Yeah. I can remember growing up and if I lost in the backyard of my brother, just how frustrating that was. And, we've done a lot of personality tests, talked a lot with Paint, and their crew about, disc assessments and personality tests. They're still learning each other off the floor. Yeah. The one thing they do have the most thing in common is they're just competitive nature and competitive drive. So anything we can do within practice or day-to-day basis to keep that competitive drive going, they've embraced it and excited about like the next challenge every day.
Yeah, Destiny Lombard certainly made an impact. Speed and athleticism is always important in the women's game, the men's game, any game. And she certainly started off on a good foot. But talk about some of your new players too. Obviously, Kendall Perrier and your freshmen inside folks are going to make a difference as well. But what needs to click from them? Everybody needs to contribute, I would guess, to be where you want to be.
Oh, no doubt. We're going to need everybody this year. With their 4 transfers, Destiny Lombard just brings straight speed. She was not only that, she was a defensive player of the year in the WAC last year. Yeah. Quick hands, very, very cat-like in the way she moves. But she's a shot maker, better offensively than we thought when we got her. Reagan Bass and Ella Collier just kind of bring a steadiness. Everybody kind of looks to them just to kind of calm everybody down. And then Mari Petrie is just pure heart and hustle. Yeah. Obviously, we know a little bit about Laisha when she was here, and Mari's a lot like that in just terms of just wanting to win and play with pure heart. Our 2 freshmen inside that are playing right now, obviously Kendall comes off the bench. We challenged her to be a little bit better rebounder than she was the other night, but her older brother played for Zoe, had a great career at Mizzou, and I expect KP to have a similar career path here. And then Lana is just different than whatever we've had. You know,
Yeah.
she's all of 6'4", moves really well. Her ability to rim run is really elite. But if you look at those two, they've just got to understand angles, timing on duck ins, you know, ball screen coverages, and that's going to evolve. You know, we're throwing a lot at them right now as 18-year-old young women, but they're handling it well, and their drive to be great is gonna help our ball club.
What does it say, with Ella coming in from Marion, and you coached her, I think, for year one, right?
Just
I
one
mean,
year,
what's
yeah,
that?
just 1 year.
Yeah, and just the world we're living in today in terms of going out and getting, transfer portal will be a part of things for all coaches, but going and finding somebody at that level that can come in, it's more than just scoring the basketball. I get that it's about what kind of teammate you are, but what
Yeah,
does that say? What's your, not only your expectations out of her, and you touched on it a little bit, but
yeah,
also that type of talent moving forward, or where they come from. They certainly bring a little bit of edge to them that, hey, I can play at this level.
yeah,
It would seem
yeah.
that would be a good thing.
Yeah, no doubt. All 4 of them, kinda have that edge about them that
Yeah.
they belong here at this level. You know, with Ella, she's the best player I recruited at Marion.
Yeah.
You know, and we just figured shot making translates, and I know she hasn't
Yeah.
shot it that well in our exhibition, in our regular season game, but, she's the best shooter I've ever seen. You know,
Yeah.
when she misses a shot, it's almost like pure shock. But outside of that, her ability to understand the game of basketball, timing, spacing, change of pace, you know, and she just immediately earned everybody's respect. The way she goes about her business, the way she gets in the gym and gets shots up, the kind of person, the kind of teammate she is. And it's really helped Sophie Swanson. You know, Sophie's
Yeah.
probably our best all around basketball player, and Sophie's still a young sophomore, and Ella has kind of organically taken her under her wing, and Sophie has embraced it, and those two have been, you know, peas in a pod really together on the court, and excited for what Ella can teach Sophie, because you know I tell Sophie all the time she has the best chance right now to be one of the all time greats here at Purdue.
Yeah, good to hear. What Notre Dame in your playing days, some great battles. You hope for that on Sunday night, but talk about the Fighting Irish, and obviously, I think ranked sixth coming into that game, will be one of the marquee teams. And that need for you guys, you want to win in the non-conference. You're going to play South Carolina. You're going to play Kentucky. You have other games, obviously. They're all,
Yeah,
as a coach, you don't take anybody for
yeah.
granted. But talk about Notre Dame and what they bring to the table coming in, and that challenge, a specific challenge for you guys. What will you have to do well to have a chance in the fourth quarter?
Yeah. Well, when we added them to our schedule last year, you know, we knew we weren't in the place where they were, right?
Yeah,
We knew we were still building blocks, but you never can measure yourself for where you are unless you go out there and play them. And last year they kicked our butts.
yeah,
We scored 39 points. We were not competitive at all. Kind of lost some juice in the game, and very frustrating game for us. And our group remembers that, and our newcomer, you know, they've talked a lot about to our newcomers about what the experience was. But you know, Notre Dame has, oh gosh, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 pros on their team.
yeah,
You know, obviously Niel does a great job in the recruiting world, but she's a great basketball coach too. You know, Hannah Hidalgo, Olivia Miles is back.
yeah,
Citron, they've got a freshman post player in there, transfer from Marquette, transfer from Pitt. Um, a team that can score the basketball,
yeah,
a team that can rebound the basketball, a team that likes to push in transition. So the idea for us is we got to make sure we're building a wall in transition and not letting anybody get downhill. And then we got to find a way to keep them off the glass at every position. You're not going to stop them. You just got to find a way to slow them down. I think we naturally score the ball a little bit better than we did last year. I'm not saying it's going to happen against Notre Dame.
yeah,
I hope it does.
yeah.
But for us to have a chance, we've got to find a way to slow them in transition and limit our live ball turnovers.
Well, the Katie Gearlds I observe and know a little bit is a positive, happy person, but a coach that has tough things going. But the emotional response, easy for me to say, I got a kick out of seeing that response for you and being named to the Hall of Fame at Purdue and what that meant to you.
Yeah.
Thought that was very poignant from that standpoint. But what does it mean to you? You've told your speech and et cetera address that, but that's a big deal for
Yeah,
you and where you came from, et cetera.
yeah, it's pretty humbling.
Yeah,
You know, I think about the great athletes who have played here at every sport, and to kind of have a nail in the hallway here with
Yeah.
my name on it. I think about like my coaches, my teammates that really set me up for success when I was here, and just a very blessed,
Yeah.
humbling night. One that my family, myself and my family, we don't take for granted.
Good.
When I say that I bleed black and blue, I definitely do, and to be able to have my name anywhere next to Leroy Keys is pretty damn special.
Yeah, no doubt, and that's I think the best thing about that is that even at your young age, relatively young age, it's a you understand the magnitude of that, and I think that's what makes it a very very special. Okay, another key anniversary, and those that walked before you do a great job of paying homage to those that came before you, not only in Purdue sports but in the sport of women's sports. 50
Hmm.
years. It went on before that, but it's now the 50-year anniversary of women's sports, and you've got again a lot of tradition to live up to, and an emergence that just seems to be all of it is on, and rightfully so, on the cusp of another level. Talk
Yeah.
about that and what that means not only to you, for those that have come in the past, but also what it means for the future of women's sports, not only women's basketball.
Oh, for sure. What just a great year for all the women's sports here to celebrate 50 years. Um, you look at the past of women's basketball here and the success, and what we're trying to duplicate, replicate here. We've got a long way to go to catch them, but those are the people that I can think back to, the locker room that I had, right?
Yeah.
Just 20 years ago. And then the locker room the commitment to women's sports here at Purdue. It's next level. It's unreal. And then you go on the national scene, with the likes of what Caitlin did
Yeah.
to our game. And now you've got Juju Watkins, Paige Beckers, all these young women just lifting our game. I mean, our game against Notre Dame is 7 o'clock on a Sunday on
Yeah.
FS1 on national television, and we've just got to keep building the momentum, putting a great product on the floor, because people want to see great products, and I think people are finally recognizing that there's a lot of women out there that can actually hoop and play this game the right way.
Yeah, no doubt. And we talked about Kentucky and South Carolina, but that little conference that you play in added four teams that USC and UCLA are only, I think, in the top five.
Yeah,
That doesn't do you any favors, but it also gives you a lot to, I would think long term, that's where you want to be, and you
yeah.
want to be amongst the best. But talk about not only the influx of the four teams, but also some of the other teams in the league. Indiana, I think, still in the top 25 as well.
Yeah.
What you see heading into this year.
Yeah, we already thought we had the best league in the country, and then we had two top five programs, and then Washington and Oregon, who have a history of success. It's a unique challenge. Ohio State, Maryland, Indiana, Iowa, Illinois just knocked off a top 20 team last night at
Yeah.
home. So, the best part is that you only have to play them once. It's the worst part too, right? You can't have a bad night because you only get one chance at them. But at the same time, you play USC or UCLA once, just takes one time to knock them off. And
Yeah.
we're gonna address those big guns when we get to them. Right now, it's
Right.
all about Notre Dame, and but I think we have a team that's just gonna compete, and no matter who we're playing. Our job is to be competitive for 40 minutes, make sure nobody's playing harder than Purdue, and then find a way to make winning the most important thing. And if we can do that, we'll give ourselves a chance most nights.
All right. Well, we look forward to Sunday night, a big event in Mackey Arena. Tickets still available, but it is and on national television too. FS1, a big deal. It's Purdue takes on Notre Dame. Katie, thanks so much for your time. Best of
Yeah.
luck to you guys, and you're running your program right. They're fun to watch. You want that to be every night, and it may not be every night, but it's going to be. That's the goal, and it'll be a lot of fun to
Definitely.
watch you guys. All right. Have
Thanks,
a great,
Alan.
great prep for Notre Dame, and we look forward to watching Sunday night and throughout the 24-25 season.
Thanks,
Thanks
Alan.
again, Coach. All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes for our final segment on Golden Black Live. We stay tuned, as they say. And we appreciate Katie and the whole group for joining us, and we'll be seeing in a couple minutes.